So, before we get things going today, I wanted to start things off on a little bit more of a serious note. If you are unaware or haven't been keeping up with the news, or you're not invested in this type of thing, so you don't see this type of thing flood into your social media timeline as often or as soon as some of us might. There have been some really really horrible, terrible things happening at Activision Blizzard and Ubisoft, to the point where in one of these scenarios, someone took their life because of how bad things were. So I just kind of wanted to. We talk about Overwatch a lot on the show. We all love Overwatch. I mean, I guess minus
Told you
Todd.
Overwatch was trash. Told you it was
This
fucking
is
trash.
not, not a part to make a joke, but um, it's obviously obviously none of us are experts on this. Obviously, if you're having mental health problems, or dealing with any of these types of issues, whether it be sexism, racism, uncomfortableness at work, we're not experts on any of that. I like to think that the four of us are all good people with good morals, and we can understand what's right and what's wrong. And I think that if you need someone to reach out to, obviously the four of us are always here to help whenever we can, however we can. But I just think it's important for as many people to kind of talk about it and bring it up as this stuff is unfolding, simply because it's something that runs rampant, not just in the video game industry, but across every workforce, these types of things. But this many things all coming to a head right now. I believe Activision Blizzard is being sued by the state of California as they've been investigating this stuff going on. It's terrible stuff. You're seeing some of the bigger websites kind of they're putting a hold on. I know Prima Games is not going to be doing any new Activision or Blizzard or Ubisoft media coverage in any way until this stuff kind of gets resolved in some way. And I know, like, us talking about it, websites like that making a stance and kind of blackballing those companies for now is a very small move towards any type of change in any way. But I just think that it's important for people who care about this type of thing to realize that this stuff is going on. And like I said, none of us are experts on this. It's not a simple Activision Blizzard is bad and boycott them, don't buy their games, don't play their games, don't do whatever, because not everyone that works at these companies is necessarily a bad person. There are plenty of people, I'm sure, that work there that are there because they love Blizzard games, or they love Activision games, or they love Ubisoft games, and these are the things that they like to make, and these are the properties they like to be involved with. And there are, I'm sure, some people there that aren't involved in these types of things. So however you want to go about reckoning with these things that are going on, I mean, that's on you. I would suggest it's probably not in your best interest or the right thing to do to just start attacking journalists or game developers at these studios during this time, because I think people are just trying to get the word out about what is happening and supporting the voices that need the support right now. So as far as we're concerned, not that we are covering much outside of the occasional Overwatch conversation. I think for now we will probably hold off on really talking about anything to do with Blizzard or Ubisoft or Activision at this point, until things kind of get where they need to go. Hopefully the lawsuit that's been going on actually does some good and takes some of these terrible people that are in power over there that have been doing bad things for a long time, and some of these people get justice. I mean, you'll never be able to get justice for the person that felt the need to take their life, but it can at least start here and continue to move forward in a better direction. So hopefully this is a wake-up call to anyone out there who, if you're in a certain scenario where, especially if you're a guy and you're in a scenario where you witness these types of things happening at your workplace, whatever that may be, maybe now's the time, the wake-up call for you to kind of stand up for someone who can't stand up for themselves, or feels threatened to stand up for themselves, or unable to stand up for themselves for whatever reason. This is kind of the call to action. If you don't take that moment now, I don't know what else needs to happen for you to take that moment, unless you really just don't care. But anyways,
Do you think Kaplan knew this was coming and had
so
something to do with his exit?
I'm that was like one of the things that kind of went through my brain too when this stuff
First thing I
started.
thought of.
Yeah, when some of this stuff started to come out, I was like, I wonder if this is part of why he was leaving, or what. I hope not. I hope not. I hope he wasn't also a bad person and that's why he was leaving, because he was like, I
Well,
want to get out
it
of
said it
this.
was some of the old guard from. It wasn't just like an activism thing. It said it was like some of the old guard of Blizzard was what I was reading on like what Schreier was putting out there and everything.
Yeah, it sounds like this has been going on for at least like a decade,
Yeah,
if not
yeah.
forever. So it's terrible. Some of the stuff. I mean, there are documents out there from from the court. However, I don't know, affidavits. I don't know what court documents are called. But there are documents out there that you can read if you really want to read like what is happening and what is going on right now. And I've only been able to kind of like flip through it because some of it is very, very disgusting and disturbing and terrible. So I personally can't like stomach really reading through some of that stuff. But it's terrible. I mean, it's not anything that should be happening to anybody. And hopefully this is, the way that the tides kind of turn here and things move towards a better direction for, marginalized people, for women, anyone that is being affected by these terrible humans. Anyways, I just wanted to kind of get out at the top of the show with that. Yeah. Especially because, again, a lot of people that listen to the show know we talk about Overwatch a lot. So, there's that. I guess we'll just segue right into the intro to the show. Welcome, everyone, to the Pass Controller Podcast, a show where a couple of best friends talk about the latest in video games and nerd culture. Sometimes we have guests. Sometimes we talk about the real shit that needs to be talked about. As always, I'm your host, Brenden Groom, and always, I don't know why I just said and always. I read the Twitch chat and got fucked up. As always, I'm your host, Brenden Groom, and joining me on this lovely Friday evening is the anime senpai himself, Mr. Michael Lizier. Mike, how are you doing this evening?
Meh.
Why? The Mai Tai not hitting yet?
So are you drinking?
Isn't the Mai Tai head? I'm always
All
Don't
right, fair enough.
act surprised.
Fair enough. Listen, I'm just trying to gauge. I'm just trying to put the feelers out there. Also joining me on this lovely evening is, I don't even know what to fucking introduce you as anymore. Like, what do you play? Like, who are you? Are you? You're like the V-Buck fucking. I don't know. Daddy V-Bucks over here. Fortnite father. Yeah.
I haven't played Fortnite in a couple of days. I've just been playing a lot of single player games, just fucking ripping through games I haven't played, or I'm the Game Pass guy basically at this point. It's
fucking
download everything.
The Game Pass guru, Todd Gary. And then rounding us out on this lovely Friday evening. I keep wanting to say Saturday because I feel like we've done a lot of Saturdays recently, but we're rolling on a Friday. Rounding us out, the Disney Daddy, Dominic 40. Dom, how are you doing?
Hello there.
You see, I wanted to go with V-Bug Viceroy. That was where my head went.
Mike, you got to throw that out there. You got to get in there.
I like that.
It is.
We were speaking too fast. There was no place to really throw it in there.
Sometimes you just got to slide it in, Mike. You know what I'm saying? You just got to fucking. You got to have it ready to rock, ready to go, and you just fucking slip it in. Because if it's good, like that was good, that would have hit, and it would have stopped everyone else from talking, and you would have stole the show.
Yeah.
And then you would have did that. I would have been like, oh shit, that was fucking great, Mike. And you would have just been, yeah. And then we would have had that awkward pause where you didn't say anything else. No one else is saying anything. And then I'm like, all right, here we go. That's a little inside baseball. That's a little inside baseball for the fans out there. How the show works. How the sausage is made, if I may.
That's how the script normally goes. We write it down. Brendan says something, and we all have an awkward pause.
Yes,
that's typically.
Ian reacts.
It really, if I were to turn the camera in the chat here was able to see the teleprompter, it would be very bizarre.
I can see the reflection in the window. Don't worry about it.
Only you can see that, not the Twitch chat, Mike. Our cameras are cropped.
They're cropped.
Exactly.
Right.
You can't. You got to mystify them. You know what I mean? You can't give them the whole thing. They got to think that this is all off the top of the head. That none of this is scripted. That this isn't a simulation. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Anyways, Sapphire J in the chat said, "Man, if this is written, you need to fire your writers." Listen, we don't have writers because we can't afford that. But I guess I'll
this
fire
is all
myself.
stuff we wrote ahead of time, but yes, we're not great writers. I think that was a given.
I beg your pardon, sir. I'm an English major.
Yeah, still not a
I
great
do.
writer.
I do.
That was a
I do
waste
rate
of
good.
several thousand.
This is going to be a horrible episode of the podcast because they're fucking hammering above me. So it's just bang, 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 bang.
If it makes you feel any better, I can't hear it.
I can't hear it either.
So
Yeah,
what's going to happen is
So thankfully, you just told everybody to listen out for it.
well, no, what's going to happen is the audio version should be fine because we pull the audio from Discord and I don't see it popping up for me. But on the stream version, they can definitely hear it. So that means that the stream can hear it right now, and that means that the YouTube version will probably be able to hear it. Because, again...
I thought you used Craig for the podcast version.
As I said, the audio version will be fine because I don't see it popping up here. But on the video version, I do see it popping up. So the YouTube version and the Twitch stream will hear it.
They're second-class citizens anyway. It's fine.
Wow. Anyways, a couple of housekeeping things before we roll right fucking into it. This episode of the Pest Control Podcast is sponsored by our good friends at Goodnight Fatty. If you're in the Salem, Massachusetts area or the North Shore of Massachusetts on a Friday, Saturday, or Sunday evening, and you want yourself something delicious, something hot, something sweet right out of the oven, you can head on down to 1 Washington Square and get yourself a delicious fatty. And if you're unaware of what a fatty is, you can check them out on social media at Goodnight Fatty and educate yourself on these tasty, tasty treats. And if you do head down, let them know Pest Controller sent you. But you know what? That's not it. You want something hot? You want something to get you going in the morning on a Sunday? I can't even think of a better thing to do than to start my Sunday morning with a hot, fresh out of the oven chubby. And if you don't know what a chubby is, you can check them out on social media at Good Morning Chubby. And let me tell you, don't get no better than that. Breakfast has leveled up, as they say in the video game talk. Anyways, a couple of housekeeping things. If you're listening to this episode right now, watching with us on Twitch, or if I end up posting this tonight and you listen to it somehow before tomorrow, I am streaming for an undisclosed amount of time tomorrow 2 games that I do not want to stream for charity, but I'm doing it for charity. Resident Evil 3 Remake and Balan Wonderland. Wonderland? I don't even know what the fucking game is called. Wonderworld.
You bought that game?
So here's the deal, Mike. Here's
It's called Goat. That's what it's called.
It's called what?
The Goat.
It's game of the year. That's what I'm telling you. So here's the deal for this stream tomorrow for charity, for MG. I have no timer. The timer is every dollar you donate to the team is 1 more minute streamed. So if you donate, if someone donates $10, that's 10 more minutes. Someone donates $60, that's another hour. And that compounds with everyone that donates. So it's, as the day goes on, whoever donates, it pushes the timer up until I finish Resident Evil 3 Remake. If I finish Resident Evil 3 Remake and you want more and you want to put me through pain and make me play Balan Wonderworld, keep donating and make me play it up until I finish it. So the average time for both of these games, according to howlongtobeat.com, is Resident Evil 3 Remake is about 5 to 6 hours. And Balan Wonderworld is about 11 hours. So if you want to make me stream for about potentially 18 hours, if not longer, put your money where your donations are and make me do it. And keep in mind, I hate scary games, so I don't want to play that. And Balan Wonderworld is just from what I can tell, based on
really good game.
Yeah, based on reviews and people on the internet talking about video games and websites and podcasts and what have you, is a horrible fucking game. So if you want to make me play a game that I don't want to play because I'm a scaredy cat, and a game I definitely don't want to play because it's fucking supposed to be terrible, you have the chance to make me do that, and I have no way out. Other than
Still
beating
better
games.
than Mario Odyssey, though. It's probably got to be better than Mario Odyssey.
Big yikes. Anyways, so you can do those 2 things. Come support my Myasthenia Gravis research tomorrow and make me play 2 things that I really don't want to fucking play, if we're being honest.
I don't know. I really enjoyed Resident Evil 3, and I actually want to go back and replay it again because I
don't want to play because I don't want to play a horror game. I know it's
not that. It's not bad though.
Yeah,
it's
but I'm a baby.
It's fun. There's one part that's kind of
right, we'll see.
there's a spider part, but other than
We'll
that,
see. I'm sure there are plenty of jump scares that are gonna get me good.
I feel like once you get halfway through it, you don't have to really worry about that
We'll
shit
see.
anymore.
We'll see. We shall see. Anyways, look forward to that tomorrow. And then if you missed our PAX panel, the top 10 Nintendo games of all time with me, Cameron Hawkins, Grayson Morales, Lily Zaldivar, Alana Pierce, and Tim Geddes, that is now available on both the podcast feed as well as our YouTube page. So if you want to watch the video, it's up there on YouTube. If you want to listen to the audio, it's on our podcast feed. So enjoy that. I'm in the process of trying to get the Tetris panel that I was on. So if I get that, I'll also throw that on the podcast feed and throw that on our YouTube channel as well. So keep a lookout for that if you want to hear us talk about why Tetris is the best puzzle game. Anyways, I think that'll just about do it for the episode tonight. We did it, boys. Let's get out of here.
I was going to say, I was like, wait, that's a quick one. All right, I'm jumping on. What are we playing?
That'll do it for housekeeping. So rolling right into it. Who watched Kanye's fucking album listening party yesterday?
I'm confused by that. So where was that, first of all?
I think it was in Atlanta.
Okay.
Wait, did you watch it?
I watched like bits and pieces. I jumped in when he was doing the what's it called? The song from fucking that Christmas movie. Ding, ding. You know, like when he was doing that when he had the mask on at the concert. I don't know if you guys saw that part from 808s and Heartbreaks or whatever.
Wait, he did that last night?
Didn't he do that last night? I'm pretty sure. Didn't he have like?
Where did you watch this?
Like, I don't know. I'm trying to remember. Whatever I watched it on last night, I was watching stuff. He did like did he have a white mask on last night? It was like this field looked like it was all snow, right? Was that the same thing?
It was in a stadium. Like it was indoors.
But did it look like, was the whole ground look like?
I didn't watch it. I have no idea.
Oh, okay.
But from what I understood, he didn't do anything. He just stood on stage while the album played for 48 minutes.
Wait, really?
That's what I mean, maybe he did other stuff. I don't know. I read a quick little thing that said all he did was, first of all, he was 2 hours late. So people waited there for 2 hours. Probably longer because they got there early, I'm sure. But here's the thing, is that's not a new thing for him. Like, I've seen him twice in concert, and both fucking times... Did you come with me to watch The Throne, Dom? Or am I just confusing that with Jay-Z at Fenway?
I definitely saw Kanye at the Garden once.
I think I was there. I think the three of us.
Yeah,
were.
I think all three of us went to something at the Garden.
Okay. He was
late. I remember he was in a mask the entire time, or most of the time. I was like, it'd be pretty funny if that just wasn't Kanye.
Wasn't him. Yeah, right.
Well, so I went to that, and I also went to Yeezus. Did you guys go to Yeezus?
Maybe I saw him. Yeah, I did go to Yeezus.
Oh, yes. So I saw him fucking 3 times. Is that the one where he wore a mask? I saw him fucking 3 times. I think he did wear a mask for Yeezus.
He climbed up a mountain. He climbed up a mountain, and then I think he battled God. Right?
Yes, I think that was
Yeezus. A guy dressed as Jesus, rather.
Yeah,
I could have sworn I took pictures. I probably have them.
Todd, you're shaking your head, but I will say, like, listen, here's where I'm at with Kanye. Like, he is a very complicated person with a lot of things going on and a lot of things to dislike, but like his music is very special to me, and he is arguably one of the best like live performers. He puts on a crazy show. It is very good.
Yeah, but he hasn't had like a good album in like a long time.
Well,
I feel like he gets like a free pass. Like that. Like everyone's like, he's like,
no,
like any other.
He gets a free pass. His last album was trash.
Free pass
but people still love
what?
it. People still love it. Like that, he's like the greatest of all time. Like Eminem put out like a bunch of CDs, and everyone's like, he's done.
I don't think Eminem. Yeah, but see, I don't think Eminem's dog shit. I think Eminem's still really good.
Yeah, no, I don't. I'm not into his newer stuff, but like at the same way, I feel like people just like come at Eminem like he's like the worst rapper now because of his last like 3 albums. And
I think that's just like echo chamber of people. I don't think that's a real thing.
I also think that everyone is just like, yeah, Kanye's crazy, so we're just gonna ignore him.
Yeah,
I think Kanye's last good album was "Watch the Throne." I don't think he's done anything good after that. I don't think. What were you gonna say?
That wasn't his last good album.
Yeah, I also disagree with you.
What would you say is better after that?
I mean, here's the thing. You said last good album. Watch the Throne is like, in my opinion, like a masterpiece album. So like something better than that, probably not. But a good album since then, yes.
Like what though? Because Life of Pablo is like he barely even raps in that.
I mean,
album.
there's some
like,
stuff.
like,
there's some stuff
and then
that I
there's
like
that
on Life
album
of
he put
Pablo.
out. Yeah, there's a couple good songs, but it's not like a great rap album.
And
it's
I don't hate. I forget what the album is
Ghost
called.
is good.
Yeah, Kids See Ghost is really
Kids
good.
See Ghost is phenomenal. Like I think that's.
Hey, you just said he doesn't have a good album.
But I don't necessarily would know if I think that album is not good just because of him. Like I think that's like
that's like most albums though.
Well, like
then you can't say Watch the Throne is his album.
Well, I hate Jay-Z. I think Kanye's the only good part about Watch the Throne. So
that doesn't make any sense to me.
Yeah.
Well, then you've got a bias there. That's all
no,
it is.
But the CD he put out of his own CD in between when he put out like Tiana Taylor and
no, I don't hate that CD. Again, it's not like
I think
it's
that
not,
album's not good though.
Which one was that?
I think it's called Yay.
Okay,
it's the one with the mountain on the cover.
Yeah. It's got like Microsoft Paint writings of like his name on it.
Yeah, I mean, again, he does a lot of weird shit. I mean, he's got issues.
He's weird.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I disliked his last album a lot simply because it was like a lot more.
Was that the gospel album?
Yeah, a lot more fucking gospel stuff, which like I just don't personally care about. Which sucks because like some of the beats on that album are fucking amazing, and I'm like, you're rapping about God right now. I don't want to listen to this. Like, this is not what I want to listen to.
Yeah, right. It's like I refuse.
Like the last song on the album, I think it's the last song on the album, is a dope fucking beat. It's like him, Clips, because he has the other Havoc on there. Because is Havoc still like a church guy? The other part of Clips?
Oh, I don't know. I haven't heard from him in forever.
Yeah, because I think he's like a God person. I think he's like I don't know if he's like a preacher or something, but
you know what the
like
best thing about this is? Before he did that album, he did that song with I forget who for like the Pornhub Awards or something like that, where it's like you're such a stupid hoe, and then he puts out a gospel album, his next album after that.
I mean, you
like
can be multifaceted. You can do whatever the fuck you want, but I just don't want to listen to that type of like fucking gospel music like that. But
I just looked at that song with Clips. It also has Kenny G on it.
Yes, and Kenny G has a fucking saxophone solo in it, and it's so fucking good. It is such a good song.
I don't think I made it that far on the album. I'm sorry.
It is a really good beat, and the 2 of the 3 verses are about God. Because Pusha T might have like God lyrics, but he's a little bit more not fucking, I don't know, whatever the other fucking shit is about. But it's such a good beat, and I'm so mad that it's fucking wasted on that type of song. Right. Honestly, Dom, listen to that song because the beat is so good and the Kenny G fucking solo is so good. It is so good.
Weird.
But yeah.
Welcome everybody to your monthly Pass the Controller Talks rap.
Top five.
I mean, it's probably some of our best material.
It really is. This is the unscripted stuff. This is we're off prompter here.
Yeah.
So none of us watched this thing. I kept opening my phone.
I didn't even know what was happening.
Yeah, I kept opening my phone because it was on Apple Music. You could watch it on Apple Music. So I kept opening my phone looking last night, and I was like, this shit still hasn't started. This is going to be fucking not.
Dude, that dude just doesn't respect people's time, man.
No, he doesn't. But that's the thing I was trying to, that's the point I was trying to say earlier is every time I have seen him, he is late purposely. Whatever he is always late. The last show that we went to was Life of Pablo tour. Me and Jen went, and that was like the concert with like the floating stage, which again was really fucking cool. But he was also like probably at least.
Wait,
an
I feel
hour
like
late.
I went to that too.
I know that one Jen and I went to alone, but you may have also went to it. Is at the Garden.
Does he live rap during his things, or does he only
live rap? This motherfucker, every time I've seen him, goes on like live rants like this. He seeing him in concert is a fucking good time. And he's a fuck synesthesia. Is that when you can see sounds? Is that what that means? I believe so. He has synesthesia, or at least that's what he says, which I believe him because I think he's very talented musically. But you know how invested he is into music and how much of a part of it is for him, because like that last show was like it was like so loud and like but like not loud, like uncomfortable. It was like it felt like I could feel the music like in my like shaking my fucking body inside, and it was like perfectly fucking calibrated to like make you fucking feel that shit. But that was a crazy show because he was literally floating above people on a stage where like if I was underneath that, I'd be pissed that I paid for those seats, but
Right.
also like, are you not scared that that's gonna fucking fall at some point
Just
on
collapses. Yeah, right.
you? Anyways, I'm pretty sure they let people underneath him.
The real question is, who listened to the new John Mayer album?
I did.
Oh,
Let me crack open Spotify real quick.
I'm not like a
John Mayer made an 80s soft rock album.
Yeah.
wait,
I'm not
is
like
that what it is?
Yes.
Really?
I'm not like a big
Look at
John
the
Mayer
just,
stan.
just look at the cover, dude. Just look at the cover. It's an 80s. It's an 80s album. Look at the cover. It's got like the yellow sticker on the top corner.
Yeah.
He must have been dropping acid during the Dead shows for like the last year and a half, and he's probably just like, "What the fuck can I do right now?"
I'm not like a big Mayer fan. But
His
like,
early stuff is great. He's a really good. He's a really good musician too. Like it's like I don't necessarily like.
He's super talented.
Yeah, I know. I don't have like a negative thing to say to it. I just don't like listen to a lot of John Mayer stuff. But like,
he does. He does TikToks where he like teaches people how to play his songs on guitar.
Oh, cool.
Wait, really? That's kind of cool.
I'm just mad he broke Taylor Swift's heart a little bit. So that's like the only animosity I have towards.
Yeah, he's like one of
Did Tom Hiddleston do that?
No,
too?
yeah, right.
200.
Yeah,
yes.
Didn't Tom Hiddleston do that?
everyone.
Yeah. One of the Jonas Brothers.
Damn.
Everyone.
But yeah, Jesse Vitelli, friend of the show, he had said, I think he must have tweeted like, this John Mayer album is fucking like incredible, and I was like, oh, I'll fucking throw it on the next time I'm like in my car, and I like, it's a quick album, like you bang through that, no,
it's not that
quick.
long.
Yeah, it's like 40 minutes.
Yeah.
Wait, is it like Huey Lewis and the News kind of stuff, or is
Yes.
it? Oh, cool. So I probably
literally after this, just hit play on the first song, and you'll be like, this sounds like straight up an 80s album.
It really.
Okay,
so
cool.
there, I think there was
Within
only
the first minute, it's like, wow, this is like an 80s album.
Yeah, 'cause I'm
so
a big Huey Lewis guy, so that's like my shit. Right?
I didn't know that was like the purpose of the album, but like there was only like one song on the album where we're driving around and I like Jen and I was like, I can't do this. It's like too much 80s for me. It's like too far. But like the rest of it's really fucking good. Like I enjoyed it. It's a good just like play through, like kind of in the background album to have on.
Give it a listen.
But yeah, so that was our monthly music roundup. So
Mike's listening to it right now.
Yeah, that synth goes hard. That synth goes hard.
It's not terrible.
Like right off the bat, right?
Yeah. He was like,
That's actually the fucking like notes to the song, Mike. You can make this song with your mouth.
I was just listening to it. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah,
like,
it's
literally.
I think you'll enjoy it. It's got some bangers on there, as the kids say. You know.
Amanda and I saw Huey Lewis in the News about 8 years ago, maybe at Foxwoods or Mohegan, and when I say it was like 60-year-olds plus in that place, we were hands down the youngest people by like 30 years. And like everyone's just getting up jamming, like all these old people that don't give a fuck. It was great.
I would love to see Huey Lewis.
Oh, he can't play anymore. He's got like his tinnitus or whatever. Yeah, he's fucked. He can't do anything.
That's too bad.
I will say, since before we wrap up this music minute here, that new Lil Nas X song is very good. I don't know if anyone fucks with Lil Nas X, but
I actually like the first song you put out, the Montero or whatever. I thought it was pretty good.
He has a lot of good songs on that album.
No, I think the first song you put out, Old Town Road.
I fuck with it. Is that a song in Fortnite? Because if it is, I fucking need it.
It definitely has to be.
Probably not.
I used to be annoyed by that song, but then it fucking grew on me because it's also in Fuser, and it is good to mix into Fuser. I'll tell you, fucking good in Fuser.
What's the new song?
I think it came out today because it's also produced by Kanye.
All right, so I'm pretty sure that's the one that Colton Hayne, Mike?
The kid that was on Arrow?
Yeah, he's in the music video apparently.
I've only watched a snippet of the music video, but the people that don't like Lil Nas X are going to be very, very angry by this music video. Because
if Colton Hayne's there, I imagine that
there's at least one part of it where it's him and a bunch of male dancers that are all naked in a prison shower dancing to the music, and I'm like, this is like I love that he's just like, fuck it, I'm going in. Like, I don't give a fuck. Like, fuck all the people that hate me because I'm gay or whatever.
It's funny you say this because I read a really good article the other day. I don't know why, it was something on Twitter that someone posted about how Lil Nas X does not get the credit he's doing for the gay community because he's black, and how like Harry Styles gets all the credit in the world for wearing a dress, but Lil Nas X is doing so much to further the cause of like the community, and like all we hear about is Harry Styles wearing a dress. We don't hear like everyone just demonizes Lil Nas X. You know what I'm saying? Whereas Harry Styles is dating like Olivia Munn. He's not like he doesn't even give a fuck. He's just doing it for fucking.
I thought John Mulaney was dating Olivia Munn.
I'm sorry, not Olivia Munn. Olivia Wilde.
Yes.
Okay.
That's factual. I was gonna say
fucking Olivia's right, Todd. Jesus.
Don't you think
right.
Lil Nas X also gets demonized because he literally fucked a demon in his last music video?
That is also true.
That's
Like I don't want to give them credit, but like I can see where they're coming from. If
No,
they're like,
No. Yeah.
Jokes aside,
A fake
all
fairy
know.
god. Yeah, right, exactly.
Also, so, off topic, but you brought up Harry Styles. Is he like stuck in the '60s?
Yeah, I mean, like,
I don't know.
I don't know what his deal is.
He's wearing like bell bottoms and like unbuttoned shirts and stuff again.
I literally don't
him
know
back.
anything about Harry Styles other than there's an SNL sketch where Jimmy Fallon is like, the sketch is like, I think it's just like, now what I call music, Christmas edition. And a lot of the scenes are Jimmy Fallon impersonating musicians. And when he does Harry Styles, he just like,
you got like bell bottoms on it.
no, he just like comes out and he's just like fucking jumping around. Like, I don't know. It's very funny. That's the only thing I know about Harry Styles.
all I can say about Harry Styles is that there's somebody that I've seen their videos of on Instagram where they do their impression of Harry Styles in like different situations, but it's always the situation, and then he walks up and goes, "I'm Harry Styles," and that's the end of the video. So that's all I know.
And it's actually him?
About Harry Styles. Oh no.
Oh,
It's
okay.
the guy doing the impression. It's just his impression is, "I'm Harry Styles."
Yeah, see, yeah, I don't know anything about this. But yeah, that new Lil Nas X song, I forget what it's called. I can actually pull it up right now because it's probably just sitting on my phone.
See, I didn't give him a chance originally.
Industry, baby.
I thought Old Town Road was straight trash because I hate anything. Because I like country, but I don't like.
I don't like country.
I don't like any country from the last 20 years. I like older country, but like I think all the country over the last 20 years has been straight garbage. So it's like.
I mean, it's like country pop now. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's all it is.
I don't know.
I like Chris Stapleton.
I don't know country music.
Never
I
listened
don't
to
like
Chris
country
Stapleton.
music. So
He's got that old school. Give him a try. He's got that old school feel to him.
But yeah, this song's very good. Produced by Kanye too. It's a very good beat. It's a jam. It has Jack Harlow on it as well. I don't know if anyone knows who that is, but anyways. Yeah, but I agree with you, Todd. I don't like country music, and I didn't like Old Town Road at the time, but it like looking back on it now, especially again, like Fuser probably had a lot to do with me turning the corner there because you can remix it into stuff. But simply just because I wasn't familiar with Lil Nas X then, really in any way, but him being the force he is now, and being in the spotlight as the person he is, a gay black man, I have so much respect for him, for doing, just being who he is. When
It's
you're someone
crazy
that famous.
When you say, was Fuser a huge flop? I feel like it had to have been.
I don't think so. I mean, I think it's just rhythm games are what they are. They're never gonna I don't think rhythm games will ever get back to where Rock Band and Guitar Hero were in their height. Like I just don't think we'll ever get back to that, unfortunately. If honestly, rhythm games, or at least those types of games, probably would have fared much better if they came out initially now, just because the landscape of games with like being a live service, like if Rock Band didn't have 4 fucking games and it was just Rock Band and it was just this ever growing library that was just persistent, I think it would be different. Same thing with Guitar Hero. I mean, it kind of is that now, but like I just think we're so
they did Guitar Hero live.
Live, yeah.
Yeah, but that was again
It didn't
after
work.
it was after the kind of crash of
The big,
instrument
yeah.
games. You know what I mean? Like where
Yeah.
if they were new now and just the model from the get go was this living thing, I think they probably have more staying power. Especially too because like Rock Band 4 comes out and like we're on Xbox One X's now or whatever. We can't use our 360 instruments. Do we still have our 360 instruments?
Yeah, it's
You
so
can only
stupid.
buy it in a bundle. You can't buy guitars separately. Like all these factors that make it more complicated. Plus, it's like a $300 plus investment just to get the game and the instruments. That doesn't include downloading music and all this stuff. Like if there was like if you were just you had the instruments, you had the game, and you wanted to expand your library, and you were just like paying for like a monthly pass or whatever, I think that would be lucrative for them. I think it would work.
Yeah,
I don't
I'd
know.
probably do that too. I'd probably play it more if I could. If it's like
Yeah.
if it's like
Because that's
an ever evolving like updated list of songs that came
yeah,
out.
because
Like,
that's what
it'd be great.
that's what Just Dance is now. I don't know how long it's been like that, but they have like I don't know what it's called. It's probably called like the Just Dance Pass or something. But you basically pay for it and you get access to all of these songs. But if you just play the disc or the cartridge on your Switch or whatever platform you're on, it's like the songs that are in that version of the game. But you can get that expansion pass. That's just a living library of songs.
Like I can't play Guitar Hero. I know Rock Band Beatles unless I have a 3. You know what I'm saying? Like that's crazy to me.
I mean that's a little bit different. Just
Yeah, Rock Band
that was
Beatles
licensing.
was crazy
Yeah.
as a concept to begin with.
it is
was
crazy
amazing.
that even existed.
Like yeah, it's amazing because like that, like even like the effects they had for each song, like I Am the Walrus was so good. Like everything about that game was just great. Even if you didn't like the Beatles, like there was something.
Pretty sure I just found the drum set.
I'm pretty sure Dom and I beat that in just like a single sitting.
Yep.
I never
Problem
played
is
it.
that we have it for the Wii, so I don't
Yeah.
know if
I think we all didn't you also get like Lego Rock Band for the Wii?
That was like free
Yes.
at fucking Old Navy on
It
Black
was
Friday.
yeah, it was like free at Old Navy.
I feel like that game would be
Black Friday
worth
was
a lot, the
fucking
Beatles.
wild ride back then.
Beatles Rock Band. I feel like that disc would be worth like a pretty good amount at
possibly.
this point.
Maybe. Yeah, I never played the Beatles version. I never played any of the band, like the musician
Licensed
specific ones. Like I didn't play the Green Day one.
We had Aerosmith and Green Day, right, Mike?
Oh shit! I didn't know they had an
I
Aerosmith one.
think so, but wasn't Aerosmith?
I think Aerosmith was just
guitar?
packs. I think it was just music packs, wasn't it? Or do they have their own game?
Or was that? Yeah, I could have sworn they had their own. It might have been Rock Band or Guitar Hero, rather.
Yeah, I think I don't. If you had them specifically, I don't remember us playing it. I do remember vividly.
Aerosmith was Guitar Hero.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, not vividly, but I do remember just being blown away by the fact that we played the entire. We had beat the Beatles campaign of how
In a
many
setting.
songs it had in a setting.
I don't remember the library being enormous in that game.
No.
It was pretty decent though. It had like a bunch of good songs. I even think it had "Don't Let Me Down" on it, which was like I was like, wait, what? Like this is on it too. I used to play that game so fucking drunk, and I would just fucking have the best time of my life playing that game, just playing it online.
I'm gonna see if I can find the disc.
Yeah, I have it at my parents' house, I think.
I spent so much money, not so much money. Yeah, kind of so much money buying a used not even used copy. I bought just the
This
drum.
story is devolving so quickly, Mike.
Who gives a shit? I spent so much money buying a used Rock Band drum set because I just felt like playing Rock Band last summer, and I played it a little bit and then immediately stopped. The drums are just sitting up there.
Yeah.
But I'm
We can play
glad that
online
it's up
with each
there.
other, right?
Yes.
Yeah, we can, and I'm glad it's there. Like I would play it. I did.
We
Spend
should do that one
a
of these
decent amount of
nights.
money just buying random songs that I knew I wanted to play in my own home.
Yeah.
For me with Rock Band, like as soon as things are at a point where like you guys are coming back over here, like Rock Band's the type of thing where like I want to play with everyone in the room. Like I want to fucking jam out. I want to hear Todd fucking butcher lyrics. Like
Man, that was so low. That was so long ago.
I know, it
too,
really was.
that we did that.
but like
crazy.
that is where Rock Band shines for me. Like I love the idea that you can play online and stuff like that. That's great. But like I'm personally not amazing at Rock Band, so like playing it solo is kind of whatever for me. Like I've done it a few times, but fucking getting the band in there, fucking Dom having to fucking save me every fucking 30 seconds. It's great. It's fantastic.
I mean, I don't know about you,
Todd
but I'm
blowing
pretty
those
amazing
like
at
few
packs.
lines in
Yeah,
those
right.
few notes in Buddy
Weezer.
Holly in
Yes.
front of a group of people, like just random strangers, was
A group of people, the middle of the show floor at PAX East, like 20
Yeah.
fucking 17.
You know what's so funny too is I didn't know. I barely even played a lot of it. I played like the Beatles. That was it. And I put it on like medium or hard. I'm like, yeah, I'll do it on this. This should be easy.
Yeah.
And then I'm like, fuck.
I wish that there was a video of that whole performance because, like, I feel like outside of that, we were fucking killing it. Like, I was walking around the stage. Like, I was walking around the stage singing the lyrics.
We were showboating.
Yeah,
we were showboating as if we were actually rock stars.
And that's what made it...
Not the Beatles specifically, but just rock stars.
That's what made it even worse when Todd fucked up because, like, the people
love
in
how
the
you
crowd
guys
were
were
singing the
fucked up.
song
You
with
guys-
us. The people
You guys
in the
were
crowd were
trying to-
singing the song.
You guys were trying to say it was me, but it was actually you guys the whole time. But it's fine. I mean, I'll
Okay.
take like the hit.
that iconic... And Todd just fucking...
Wait, so who was bass? Who was bass?
Joe.
Like, Joe was okay. I was like,
I don't know if Dom was there that day or at that time.
I don't think I
I
was
don't think
there.
he was there yet. Yeah.
Barely left.
Yeah. So it's fuck yeah, Rock Band is special stuff right there.
That was,
I mean,
that was when you guys stayed in the submarine hotel, right?
probably the fucking sardine
my
can.
God.
Yeah. I definitely did not sleep there at that time.
Mike.
No, the hotel is cool. The hotel is cool if you are going there by yourself or a significant other.
So
If you're staying in the room with three,
Or if you're like pretending that you're in a submarine.
yeah, Mike, I kind of want to rephrase this though because Jen and I were speaking about this because I said the same thing. I was like, it's because I think me and you said this to each other is it'd be it's fine if you're alone or with a significant other, but the bathroom was separated from the bedroom by a shower curtain, and honestly, like, I'm not trying to take a shit
Yo, I just want to say
ever in that room.
you have to be at like a certain level of your relationship. Like you have to
Mike,
be at the point where
Mike, I have been with Jen for a long time. We've lived together for almost just as long. I don't need Jen to be able to walk by a piece of fabric that separates me from taking a shit, and vice versa. I don't want to be a part of that in her experience either.
Oh, really? I make Amanda come in the room. Like, Amanda, I gotta tell you something. I'll be like all the time. But
Wait, are
I
you
remember
serious?
walking in. Oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah,
I'm like,
that's why Todd's marriage is rock solid.
Yes, exactly. Like we don't give a fuck. About
Listen,
anything.
I don't give a fuck about most things, but like I don't taking a fucking
Not like Howard Stern
going
right
to the
now.
bathroom, sitting down in there. That's my time. All right, that's me and my time only.
I get it. That's why I can never really commit to somebody because I just need to be alone, especially
No,
when
Mike, you'd be
You're gonna find the
surprised.
right person.
Most
Mike,
people want the
I'll
bathroom to be
like
their
pinching my
time.
butt cheeks. I'll be pinching my butt cheeks running if I have a really bad stomach ache. I'm like, Amanda, come with me right now for a second, and then I'll just let it go, and she'll just be like, I fucking hate you. You know? Like,
What do you mean you'll let it go? Like you'll fart?
No, like if I have like a bad.
No, so does
stomach ache,
pants.
I'm like, yeah, like if I'm like, like it's been a long time. But still, I'll be like, hon, come here for a second. You know? It's just like, what are you doing? Like, stop.
Yeah, I'm all
one
set.
thing about that
I'm fine
hotel,
with being
though,
open with Jen about everything, but like I think her and I are on the same page. We don't need to see each other's shit.
The sweetest thing about that story is that she keeps falling for it. I think that's the sweetest thing about that story.
all the
She's
time.
like, what is it? Oh,
Because I'll be like Amanda, and she'll just be like, what do you want? And it's like, she'll come in and she'll be like, oh my god.
I'm just picturing Todd with his legs wide open, just going with his tongue out like this.
And I remember that hotel
You have your pants on still.
I remember that hotel room very clearly because I walked in
Oh.
in the morning. Cheeto was showering, and it was like a fucking sauna in there. Like,
Yeah, again, no door, horrible.
Yeah, like, it was the most ridiculous. I walked in here, and I'm like, what is going on right now? I'm like, it's like, and he was in the shower for like fucking 30 minutes.
Yeah,
like,
because that's the other thing with hotels is like you really can't open the window. You know what I mean? So it's like you're stuck with that air. You know what I mean?
Yep, 100%.
Anyways,
yeah, gross.
I feel like anything else we were gonna speak about in this episode is fucking gone off the table, not happening because I don't want an hour and a half episode. So for these last whatever minutes, I think we should just talk about like just organically getting to this topic because I like this topic and I think the four of us would all probably enjoy this topic is just the state of rhythm games and like where they can go from here and like what would get you excited about rhythm games because like go ahead.
I was gonna say I don't think if Fuse Fuser, whatever the fuck it's called.
Yeah.
I think the last Rock Band didn't do anything. I don't really know. I mean, I am cool with more of the same with that genre of games. Just give me, like we said, like an updated library of games, an ever evolving, like almost an Apple Music kind of library where like I pay a certain amount of dollars a month and I get a big amount of songs, and make the online. I know you guys are more. I want to play.
Having the
like,
option is good though. Having the option, you should be able to do both. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and if we were having a couple drinks and we're all in a different, like it was. I told you I played with Liz a long time ago, who we used to work with.
Yeah.
And I played with all her friends, and we were all shit faced, and we played like till like 3 a.m, just Beatles songs the whole time. And I'm like so down for shit like that, you know.
No, I mean, listen, I
But
got the guitars in my
like,
closet. I'll bust that out. We'll play anytime.
Yeah, I have mine in my closet too. It's like, but it needs to be like. I feel like the online for all those games has always been a little spotty, kind of like it's been like the second thought, not really like But I don't know. I don't
really
know.
is like a couch co-op type of game.
Yeah.
I don't know. Like, given what I know about fighting games, and that it's so weird that I bring that up, but essentially,
my mind was going the same place, Mike, with like rollback.
Essentially, like the timing of it, like it's weird to be able to try and do that with that kind of latency in play with a rhythm game.
Yeah.
I'm sure it's doable, but I'm sure there's like weird compromises involved.
Yeah. I think honestly, Todd, I feel like we've all kind of touched on this a little bit, but I feel like a potential like, futuristic approach, or I guess more modern day approach to this type of thing, at least with like music library and stuff like that. It almost sounds like it would make the most sense if they were to make like, a Rock Band 5 or what have you, to partner with like a Spotify or an Apple Music and kind of make the game with them, and then work it out so that like, however streaming music works for artists, have it kind of work out that way, where it's like, oh, if people play this song, like you get a cut of this, whatever. Obviously, like it wouldn't be open to literally just every song, because they'd have to go in and make, beat maps for all of these songs. But I could see that being an interesting way to kind of go about it. That would, the artists get paid for their music, and whatnot. I feel like that would be a potential way to kind of make that library thing work.
For Beat Saber, with like, how like on PC you can do a lot of different things. Is that like all community driven? Like are they the ones?
Yeah. Is it technically illegal, Mike?
I would say yes, in the same sort of legal gray area where, as long as you don't really push the line, I'm sure that's not the phrase I was looking for, but you get the idea. As long as you don't call attention to yourself, you can get away with it. I don't think anyone's gonna go after you for doing certain things.
Yeah.
In the same area of like certain ROMs are, where it's like, yeah, listen, if you're not like making money from this, you can do it. We're not going to really fight you for it. I was going to get something here, but yes, I think as long as no one does something crazy with it, you can keep, making these custom beat maps for Beat Saber. And whatnot.
Maybe the key to like this is making the game. I mean, because like we've already like I think the biggest problem with the last game was like you had to buy new instruments, and I think that was just a huge misstep. But I think like maybe it's one of those things where maybe they make it so you can make music with people together and kind of create your own, like, how you're playing. I mean, that's something I wouldn't want to do, but I'm sure that would be like, like that's something like not for me.
Yeah.
But
see, I feel like with that, it would, that kind of toes the same line of like,
that code stuff.
Well, no, I think it's more of like like Mario Maker is cool for like the people that want to spend the time making levels and like digging into it. And I'm trying to think, Dreams is a really cool concept, and I've seen a lot of really cool fucking things being made in that, but I know I would never be able to do that, or I don't have the time to invest into doing that. So it really, that type of thing really comes down to like, do you have a good community, and then who's going to curate it? Because like if there's a lot of cool shit there, but it's not being curated by somebody, it then becomes hard to find the cool shit. But that would be like a good idea, I think, to be a part of the core game. You know what I mean? Like
maybe see how like that. And this is kind of off topic, but see how the new Battlefield portal works. and kind of like take that model and run with it that way, of how like, you create any fucking mode you want from all these games we made over the years and,
Yeah, maybe.
do something. I don't know. But
Yeah.
I go ahead.
No, go ahead.
I was just gonna say I do think that like the creation aspect of it is definitely something to consider as far as the future of rhythm games go. Is
yeah,
like
there's got to be something. There has to be something new. Like it can't just be
Yeah.
like, hey, we have instruments and here you go, and it's buy these songs down the line. And
Yeah.
they have to. Yeah, I don't know. I want to like look up the Fuser numbers because I thought Fuser was really cool, but I dropped that game so quick.
I think
like,
Fuser
so
did
quick.
well for like the size and scope of what that game is. Like, was it ever gonna turn rhythm games back into this big thing? No, I think rhythm games still have, it fluctuates over the years. I still think that they occupy a a moderate size of the gaming space. Whether it's games like traditionally like Rock Band, Guitar Hero. Well, I guess not Guitar Hero really anymore. Something a little bit different like Fuser. Some indie stuff out there. I mean, that Rhythm DX game that we played 2 years ago at PAX East. Was that last year? What year was that? Last year?
I was last year.
Put Sayonara Wild Hearts in the midst of all this.
Yeah,
like,
sort of. I mean, it's a, like
like,
Rhythm
I just
Light.
don't know where
It's a
that,
peripheral, yeah.
yeah.
I was actually just reading more into it. So Guitar Hero Live is dead.
Yeah.
Apparently they stopped supporting the service. Rock Band is still getting supported. They're
They
actually doing
They add new music. Yeah.
and they're doing season pass.
Oh wow.
Oh, okay.
So you can pay like I think it was $24, and you get like a season's worth of DLC
Interesting.
like as they come out.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah, I still follow them on Facebook, and I see
it pop up too.
every once
Yeah.
in a while.
Yeah.
I
mean, they've put some good songs in there recently. So, I mean, last song, Real Big Fish.
Ooh,
Oh,
let's
shit,
go.
Real Big
They're on
Fish.
they're on
That's
season
fun.
20 of the season pass right now too.
Season 22, I thought I said. Yeah.
Oh yeah, maybe even higher. Yeah.
So like that's the thing is Rock Band 4, right? It's Rock Band 4.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Rock Band 4 probably has like it has its community. I would be shocked if a Rock Band 5 came out anytime soon.
It seems like their plan is to just continue support of Rock Band 4.
And that's probably the best case scenario. And at least on the Xbox side of things, it might get a little more complicated on PS5. But it seems like with the Series X, if those instruments aren't already supported, they would probably make those able to be supported, just because Microsoft's kind of MO is make everything as backwards compatibility as possible.
Why is like Imagine Dragons always all over all this shit? Have they just given up as far as their career goes, and they're just like?
I think they know their market, and that is
They're smart.
just the
No, I
licensed
agree.
music.
Like, yeah, that's it. It's
Remember when
100%
that
it.
movie, the Agatha Christie movie, came out?
Yeah, the train one.
Yeah, Orient Express.
Orient Express, yeah.
Orient Express.
Yeah.
And that song, Believer, was in the trailer out of all songs.
Right, it's on like
Like,
everything.
that's when we knew. Just put Imagine Dragons on anything.
Right.
I personally
Because
don't care about Imagine
I'm
Dragons.
looking at the most recent season pass, and it's Glass Animals. I've never heard of them.
There were some fucking great songs that came out in fucking Rock Band this year, though. We are definitely gonna have to revisit some of these.
Wait, tell me what's some of the ones that stand out to you at least.
How about Dear Maria, Count Me In?
I got your picture. I'm coming with you.
I don't even know what that is.
Maria, cat me.
Sounds like a
It's an emo song.
yeah.
Take Me Home, Country Roads.
Yep.
Hanging by a Moment.
You got to get yourself together.
I'm glad it's still getting supported. I mean, that clearly means that there's enough revenue getting generated from
Todd,
those
you'll know
DLC
this
sales.
Astronaut in the Ocean.
What's that?
I don't know. I'm sure it's in TikToks.
Because I'm looking
There you
at season 22 is Glass Animals, Ailstorm, Bless the Fall. Tom Morello is the only thing I know. Children of Nova and Imagine Dragons. Like, I don't know what any of that stuff is.
Yeah.
No, you know Hall and Oates.
I mean that's like
Which Hall and
Insta-buy
Oates
right
song?
there.
Rich Girl.
Yes.
You're a rich girl.
All my favorite songs by Weezer.
Oh my.
Sapphire J in
I
the
think
chat
that's
brings up a good point that I was gonna kind of get to
possible.
as well. Is that like at this stage of the game too, Rock Band is hard for new players to get into because you
100%.
cannot find those instruments. She was saying
Wow.
she was literally looking for a guitar controller a couple days ago, and they're so expensive and not easy to find. I know.
Exactly. That's why I ended up going to, I forget what site. One of the sites where people just sell, maybe Let Go or something, where
Yeah.
someone was selling.
It's probably harder than PSVR. Like when that was like when we were buying
Looking for
that
the
stuff.
Move controllers and
Yeah,
stuff. Yeah,
like just trying to find that stuff.
I think that's part of the issue with, at least again, like the Rock Band and Guitar Heroes of the world, is that you need these peripherals that are at this point very hard to find and not inexpensive. And looking into the future of these games is, I feel like I remember the conversation around Rock Band 4 when it was coming out was you can't buy the instruments separately because it's too expensive for us to manufacture all these for different platforms, and we just end up with stores don't want to buy them because they end up with instruments just sitting on the shelf.
They didn't read the room at all.
Yeah,
man.
people
they
already had.
fucked up.
Well, no, with Rock Band 4, they purposely only sold either the game with the guitar or the game with the band, and they didn't do separate instruments. There was a very small run at some point in the life cycle of the game where they did sell a single guitar separately, but you could never buy the drums separately if your drums broke or you needed to buy drums because you just wanted to play the drums. So I think that's like the interesting part of the future of these types of games specifically, simply because if they make sequels, if they make new games, if someone else wants to make a game like this, what do you do? Like, peripherals are such a they used to be a mainstay in gaming. There would be peripherals for fucking everything, like all different types of shit. And I feel like we've slowly started to see that part of gaming kind of disappear. Aside from, I guess you look at it now, it's like the peripheral, I guess, is a VR headset. If that's like,
that's what I was just thinking too.
And even that, like, you look at, when Guitar Hero 3 came out, or 4 rather, I'm sorry. I believe the Band in the Box bundle was like $350.
You were talking about Rock Band 4?
Yeah. Did I say something else?
You said Guitar Hero 4.
Yeah, when Rock Band 4 came out, I believe it was like $350. Oculus headset is like $3 bands.
That's a huge asking price.
It really is. That's buying a new console. That's buying a new console.
It launched with, and what it launched with was not like it wasn't bad, but like it's not like a giant library of music that it launched with. So they're asking for a big
and that's kind of the other thing too with these types of games. So like you look at something like Rock Band, it's like, what would a Rock Band 5 be? Because I would imagine the core gameplay keyboard would be dope.
That was in 3 though.
It was in 3. Yeah,
I know, but they killed it, so they need to bring it back.
Well, I guess what I'm saying is, aside from potentially adding new instruments, like the core gameplay, I can't imagine that they would change that because it kind of works for what it is. And I don't really know how you'd expand upon that. So like, what else do you add besides new songs? But they already kind of have that covered with the way they download stuff.
You make the instruments actually work.
Or you just do VR.
Wasn't that Rocksmith? There was a game with a real...
Rocksmith hooks up to an actual guitar, but
I think you can learn to play guitar through Rocksmith.
You can, yeah. But like, what if they just move this to VR? Because I feel like
they did. There's a Rock Band VR.
There's a Rock Band VR.
Okay, there is. Okay, yeah. Because I feel like the next Quest is going to be way better than what. I mean, I feel like what I have right now for the Quest 2 is pretty damn good for what I paid for it.
Yeah.
And I think that technology is just going to get better and better. And I feel like it's becoming more mainstream. It's still not there yet, but I feel like with each iteration they do, they're going to get more of a base of people and get some games that people are going to want to play. And, that could be something. I just don't know. Maybe that solves the instrument problem better if they can figure out some kind of thing to make it work that makes you feel like you're playing it on like VR.
Maybe, but like I feel like that tactile feel of holding a guitar like thing in your hand can't be really replicated by something like that. I mean, there might be novel attempts. Like, I never played Wii Music. Maybe there's a version of Wii Music that comes out in the future that like is a fun rhythm game, but I don't think it would ever necessarily replace the feeling of holding that fucking hunk of plastic in your hand and emulating guitar movements. Similar to like the drum instrument on guitar, Rock Band is like probably the closest thing to playing an actual instrument. And I mean, Mike seems to have a fucking blast with it.
Yeah, right, exactly. Do you know that I think I've said this before, but my friend Jeff knows the guy who created that for those guys.
Oh,
Basically,
wow.
he was the guy who like created the drums for that. But that yeah, watching Mike play the drums, and when we played that like one time we played recently, well, not recently, but the last time, I was just like blown away at how that seemed like the most legit thing out of anything we were doing.
Yeah.
Like I was just like, whoa, it's like he's really fucking drumming right
Yeah.
now, and it's like it takes like serious skill because I don't think I
Yes.
could ever sit down and do anything
Yeah,
like
no,
that.
I don't
Like
think I could either.
never,
I've barely ever
never.
touched the drums in Rock Band simply because like watching Mike do it, I'm like, no, no way.
I was convinced after we did that, I was like, Mike should really start taking up the drums and maybe getting involved in some music because like that's not something that most people could do. I remember telling Amanda, I'm like, should Mike be a drummer? It's like, what the fuck? Like
I
I don't
mean, to
understand.
be fair, when I was in like middle school, I did take drum lessons, but I never practiced because I was living in an apartment and I just felt like
Yeah,
shit trying to
regardless,
like
if
practice
you can carry
in
what you learned from middle school to like drums like 15 years later, who knows? That's still fucking talent. It's like
Yeah.
fucking like like it's
The thing with the drums
Mike,
for
you were
me,
meant to be a drummer, man.
I
Yep.
I took some.
Also, fun fact: if you Google my name, there is a French drummer with the same name as me.
Oh shit,
Yes.
Mikey drums. Um,
Rollin' by Limp Bizkit is one of the DLC songs. Just
Yes,
just so we're aware.
That's good. I'm okay with that.
didn't that just get added to Beat Saber too?
Yeah,
I haven't downloaded that pack
Yeah.
yet, but I think
Yeah.
so.
Yeah.
I think you were talking about it like
yeah,
a
the
few
scope
weeks
one,
ago.
yeah.
I know there's a Limp Bizkit song. I don't know if it was Rolling or
Great
something
songs.
else. But yeah, I think the future of these types of games, it's very hard to say what the future of a Rock Band and or a Guitar Hero looks like because again, I think the biggest hurdle is the two biggest hurdles are what are we adding to this game to justify it being a new installment, and how are we handling peripherals? And then on the other side, the other half of that, rhythm game genre is, the more experimental stuff or the things that don't require peripherals. Look at something like Fuser, which I think was a very cool concept that did some cool things. I'm not like I'm not a DJ, but like I know people who are DJs that play Fuser weekly. Like it's like a very good outlet for them to like mix and stuff. And like I don't know how much Fuser you played, Todd, and how deep you got into it, but like the deeper
A really hard time with it. I just
Yeah,
wasn't like I don't think it was like I was having a hard time getting through the final part of the tutorial.
Oh,
I was
okay.
like, why am I just so bad at this game? I'm like, I'm just not good
Yeah,
apparently.
you're just not good.
Probably because all I did was play Dua Lipa over and over again.
Yes,
I'm
that's
like,
your
wait,
problem.
practice
That
which
is
song?
1000% your problem. But like I feel like you can get a grasp of the basics of the game and have a fun time mixing things around, playing around. But if you really want to get into it, like there are some deeper level mechanics in that game that I think, someone who's really invested and interested in, mixing within that game can have a good time. So I think stuff like that you'll see, maybe not stuff with necessarily licensed music because that adds a whole another, layer of dealing with obviously licenses and dealing with, other companies and musicians and artists and stuff like that to try to work out deals and all those things. But I think you'll see stuff, like a Sayonara Wild Hearts, which I wouldn't know if I would necessarily consider that rhythm game, but stuff like in that vein that kind of moves in that direction. I think that's really kind of where we're at. I mean, stuff like Rhythm Heaven, I wouldn't be shocked if we see a new Rhythm Heaven game from Nintendo or something like that from someone else, just because those are very, very, those are 100% rhythm games. I don't know if any of you have ever played a Rhythm Heaven game, but they're fucking phenomenal. But stuff like that's a little bit, more creative in that space, I think is where you'll see a lot of this stuff kind of thrive. I mean,
WarioWare has elements of that.
Yeah, WarioWare definitely does. I don't know how I'm just now mentioning Crypt of the Necrodancer and Cadence of Hyrule because those games are both phenomenal and are literally tempo based.
Yep.
So, you'll see stuff like that. But again, I think it's, something like Crypt of the Necrodancer is hard to recommend to everyone because if you're not interested in staying on beat,
You can turn it off.
I don't know if you can in Crypt. You can in Cadence, but I don't know if you can encrypt.
I thought you could encrypt.
They may have added that later. I'm not
I
sure.
could be wrong.
I'm not sure, but they did. That is a
I might
feature
just
in
be thinking
Cadence.
of kids.
Yeah, that is a feature in Cadence, which I think is the right thing for a lot of reasons, accessibility and stuff. But I think that allows people who don't want to worry about, staying on beat, enjoying
Cadence
the game.
is like not my style of game, and that like was my favorite part about staying on beat. Like I was like playing it, I'm like,
oh yeah, it was impossible for me to not be like moving while I was playing that game.
Exactly. I remember playing that when we were in the Cape at night, and I'm just like in the bed, and I'm just like the kids are over, and I'm like boom,
Yeah,
boom. And I was like, this game's fucking great, man.
Yeah,
Like
it's
we
so
need more
good.
of this stuff. But I just don't think any of the. I think the biggest problem is, and I just don't know how you market it, but I don't think a lot of these games sell to the demand to make them make more games at this point. Maybe years ago they did, but like now it's just
I think that's the thing. I think that the rhythm game audience is it's a very a little segmented in regards to like you have the instrument based ones that have a very high ceiling of they have a very high barrier to entry with at this point procuring the instruments, but also the cost of paying for them.
Yeah, they need to make those instruments cost affordable. Like that's the only way something like that can work, I think, at this point.
Who made the peripherals for 4?
For 4, it was Mad Catz.
Was it Razer?
No, Mad Catz had a deal together. But I mean, that would be part of the thing is they'd have to make a deal with someone to make these things, and
So I have the solution. You make an expansion for Rock Band 4. You call it Rock Band Forever. Then you literally don't have to change any of the licensing because it's the same game. It's just an expansion.
Mm-hmm.
You can add, like you said, you find somebody who like a Mad Catz or a Razer or somebody who can make the peripherals for you, even if it's just online only peripherals at this point, just so that they're not sitting in stores like they're all order online kind of things.
Mm-hmm.
You add like a new peripheral like a keyboard. You bring back the ability to order guitars through you. And then, I don't know, you add some new feature, but I mean, you could get literally by essentially just making a new name, you could probably bring people back. Like a new name and the ability to order peripherals again.
Yeah.
You could probably bring a lot of people back.
Probably. And I think to add to that too, to make that like a better suite of content and justify people throwing money in and getting back in, is do the thing Todd mentioned and like make user created things part of the expansion. So it's like, we want to get in there and fuck around and make a song and make the beat map. Make it so either if there's a way to do it easily on the platform that you're playing the game, or make it like a thing where it's like you go to rockband.com.
You can do it online and then download it with a code or something.
Yeah. I think that those are interesting concepts, and I think that's potentially the future of at least Rock Band. I don't.
Harmonix, give us a call.
I mean,
you know what's wild though right
down
now?
the street.
I know.
They are. It's wild right now though, because right now we're talking about how to save or bring back like a Rock Band type of game, but people are just clamoring for more fucking reboots or redone fucking old games, and it's like it's all that's selling right now. Like with the
Animal Crossing fucking
zero DLC. No, but like what I'm saying, like it's like they are just jumping into fucking. We've seen the remakes for a while now, and now like the remakes are some of the game of the years for a lot of people and everything.
Yeah,
and it's just,
I mean,
it's wild, man. Like we're getting a Dead Space remake on a perfect game, and we're just getting it though at this point. And I want it. I want.
Yeah,
it.
but here's the thing. I don't want to go on this whole tangent because this is a whole separate conversation. Maybe we can do this next week. Actually, we can't. Next week's fucking movies. PTC Movie Club. I didn't bring that up earlier. Mike's pick is Black Dynamite.
Napoleon Dynamite. Oh,
Black Dynamite. Bonus pick is Wind Rises.
Todd's been watching Napoleon Dynamite. I love it. Just come in talking about that.
We will talk about those next week. So if you want to listen to us talk about Black Dynamite and The Wind Rises, watch those movies and listen next week. But to get back to the point I was going to make is, I think that there's like, and I think we've talked about this before, so I don't want to go too deep, and I also want to wrap things up. Is video games are such a different medium than movies, books, music, TV, whatever, where it's like movie comes out in the 70s, maybe they touch it up if it like needs to be repaired in some way digitally. But other than that, it's the same thing because it doesn't have these. The video games have that player aspect. It has that input mechanic. It has those types of things, and like video games have come such a long way from just 10 years ago even, where old game design. If a game didn't age well on the gameplay side of things, it's very hard for people to go back to. Where like, I don't necessarily hate the idea of like, hey, we're gonna redo Resident Evil 2 and Resident Evil 3. Maybe change a few things here and there that we feel like fit the tone of the game and tell the story better. But overall, we're just looking to make this visually look a lot better, but more importantly, play a lot better. And I kind of like the idea of like, fuck, I love this game, but like I would never play it again because it's fucking plays like shit. Like for me, I don't necessarily love the idea that potentially right now Naughty Dog's been working on a remake of the first Last of Us game, and that's what they're doing instead of making a new game. But also me is like, it's not like the worst game to go back and play, but if they put it in a new version that was nice, I'd probably fucking play it day one.
The only draw of that is I Last of Us 1 is one of my favorite games of all time.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I have zero interest in playing a remake, but I have all the interest in playing a remake of the original multiplayer in the new engine.
Oh, I don't think you'd get that though.
Yeah, like if
you're not gonna. If they remake the first game, you're not getting multiplayer.
I think there's something that they're working on for multiplayer.
For part 2.
Yeah, I hope so. Like, just give me something because it's such an underrated game.
But I think we're also at the point too where like, unless things somehow drastically change in the next 10 years or so, I don't think we're going to be seeing this trend hit again in like 10 to 15 years, simply because I don't really see how much could change potentially as far as like game playing is concerned. Sure, things will look a lot better in 10 to 15 years, I'm sure, in some way. But I think like game design and game mechanics have come so far from where they were, just even like I said, 5-10 years ago, that I don't think you'll see that big of a jump unless they want to just, again, strip the game down to fucking bare bones and remake the game from fucking the ground up. That's a little bit of a different concept, I guess. But yeah.
Hear me out. What if we combined Rock Band in VR and Just Dance and just make it a communal experience where people just show up, play games?
I don't disagree with that. I think the answer is in VR for these, and maybe even bring the guitar into it.
I don't think the answer is in VR.
I don't think the answer is in console because I don't think anyone's asking for it.
I'm going to say that you're in some way wrong, simply because if Rock Band is still paying to get licenses for new music to add to the game, there are enough
What's the name of the developers?
Harmonix.
I forget. Are they doing anything else at the time, though? If this is sustaining enough of them...
Fuser.
Oh, so they're Fuser, okay. I just looked up Fuser. I don't think I've seen any... I was trying to find if there was DLC or any kind of music. It says it's only 100 songs, so...
I'm pretty sure they've added stuff to the game, though.
Like, I know there was a big DLC pack when it first came out, but I don't know. Yeah.
But that's the thing, is like those music packs are probably like licensing nightmares to create, and like a lot of things go into that. So like... Harmonix wouldn't still be adding music to Rock Band 4, which I think came out at this point like 6 years ago.
5 years ago? Yeah, at least.
So like if that game still wasn't producing money for them, if that community still wasn't showing up to spend money, there's no fucking way they'd be working out licensing deals to add new music to that game at this point. Is it fucking...
Especially not as often as they are.
Yeah. Is it, is it setting the world on fire? No. It's in its own thing. It's probably kind of a similar situation to the fighting game community. You know what I mean? Like, some of those games don't have the biggest communities or sell the most copies, but they still are getting fighting games made. You know what I mean? Still people playing them. But
wait, so there is a Rock Band VR? Yeah, you were right.
Yeah, it's only on PC though.
I'm on Harmonix.
Yeah.
Like, just check it out.
I mean, I watched a review about Rock Band VR, and it looks really cool, and I would love to play it.
There's actually two. There's a Harmonix Music VR and Rock Band VR. I just don't know what they are, though.
Harmonix has a couple of other games. They have like Beat Sports, which I believe is on mobile and Switch. They have
Disney Fantasia music involved. What the fuck is that, and how do I get that?
I think it's on Xbox. I'm pretty sure I own that game.
360
I think I own that game. I never played it though. I think they have another Oculus game, Todd. Audica maybe is a harmonics game.
Yeah, that's what it is. Yeah, Audica is. Yep.
They also did Amplitude, which was a PlayStation game. I mean, they have other games, but I think Rock Band is probably the thing that they make the most money off of. Maybe one of their VR or mobile things. Who knows? But yeah, I mean, I'm not saying that like I again, Beat Saber literally changed my life. I definitely think there's space and room for rhythm games to thrive and grow in VR, but I think VR is that other, microcosm of the gaming world where like it has a high barrier to entry because of the cost.
Yeah, that's why I think that the Quest is slowly figuring this out, and I think that the Quest 2 was pretty reasonable.
I agree with you.
I think it's no, I know you do, and I think it's hard to get people to understand what that is and the price point. Because I was at an account and I was talking to another person who was a gamer, and we were talking about VR, and I'm like, honestly, during the pandemic, the VR was one of the best things I've had. I'd go and talk to people in these chat groups, and it was fun and it was interesting. And
I don't care about that side of it. Like those games that you like to play, I fucking like. I don't have fun in those types of things.
I had some great conversations in some of those, like not fuck up, like hey, I'm fucking with you conversations. But I'm just saying, like, but that's not like that side of things. But I just everything's cheap, like the games aren't like you're not paying a lot for those games.
Yeah, but you have to spend bare minimum $300 to get in.
Yes. But I mean, like that's like what people are paying for the fuck. What's the new?
But there are plenty of people that are never gonna want to play VR. They're never want to be in that experience.
Everyone's gonna buy this OLED Switch, and they're not getting any game, and they're not getting any new games that are made for this.
You're also talking about fundamentally different experiences.
No, I get it. No, I'm saying, like,
you know what I mean.
I know, but
and some people are never gonna want to be in VR.
Window, but I'm just saying the price point window. I wish that they would just push games like what's it called? The game that I played all the time that I still jump in and play all the time when you're riding around on rails. I don't know why I'm blanking on it right now.
Hyperdash.
Like shit like that, man. If they led with stuff like that and like people realized how good some of these games were on VR, I think.
I just think
I think the entry point to that is like it's pretty fucking cheap entry point if you get a Quest 2.
Again, that is not like for some people throwing $300 for an Oculus maybe is an expensive thing, but for some people that is like a big investment. And again, it's like,
but those same people are going to buy a fucking OLED.
Are they though? We have no idea what people are buying. But again, those are also fundamentally different things. If I'm looking at a VR headset and I'm like, hey, I'm going to get this thing that I'm going to use, X amount of time, but I'm going to get this other thing like a Switch or an Xbox or a PlayStation that I'm going to use exponentially more, that cost per use is also like a part of that equation.
See, I wouldn't take Switch as a part of that though, because I don't think Switch puts out just the right amount of games for someone like me who plays like everything, where I don't feel like I'm ever getting lost in Switch games. So like, I don't think like you're missing out on anything as far as like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
I don't know what you're saying.
I mean, they release like 3 big games a year at this point. Like these last 2 years, there hasn't been a plethora of Switch games that people are
but it's different
running.
For everyone. We buy all the games, we play all the systems, we have everything, we have all these things to play. Everyone doesn't have that. Some people are buying one thing. And
I get. I'm just saying. My only point is that I feel like people who have a Switch are all running out to get the new Switch. When it's like,
I don't think that's the case. I think we just live in a bubble of we see a lot of people that play video games.
That shit's sold out pretty quick. So,
everything sells out. It all sells out.
There's a chip shortage.
Yeah. Everything is selling out right now. Nothing. The coffee shop that I go to downtown, if I want to get coffee, I have to bring in my own cup because they can't even get plastic cups right now because there's just a shortage on fucking everything. But VR is still at that price window where it is what it is. It's moving in the right direction. I think the future of VR is being pushed by Oculus simply because it's untethered, and that's the real future.
Yeah, the money.
You want to pull more people in. It needs to be a basically non-existent headset and no wires. That's the next way to pull more people in. Obviously the price too, but you're not going to see VR really grow exponentially outside of where it's at player base wise and interest wise until you're getting to the point where it's like, I'm putting on a pair of glasses and like that's the headset, which I think we're not far from that future. I think that is like within the next 5 years that you're going to be putting on a pair of sunglasses that is a VR headset.
I'm completely fine with the Oculus Quest. I don't feel like it's not. It's like very non-invasive.
I'm just saying, you want to break this
I
open
get,
for
I get what
everyone.
you're
It
saying.
needs to be a fucking pair of sunglasses. Like, that's what it needs to be. It needs to be, I can take this on and off by moving my fucking hand. It's virtually weightless. It's a pair of sunglasses. It's super immersive. It has incredible fucking graphics. It has the best
problem
games.
with that is I don't think sunglasses will ever work because you need to black out that area because you're going to see everything that's around you.
When I
So
say
I don't
sunglasses, I mean like
no, I know,
something
but,
that's
like,
this big compared to
tighter.
something that's that big. So, like a very small thing that fits over your ears. You're good to go. It has a strap to go around the back of your head in case you want to make sure it's secure. But like, I'm talking sunglasses, sure. A pair of fucking goggles.
I would love to know if Oculus Quest 2 is successful. I see that's another thing I don't look into at all. I don't even know if they're doing well or
You're talking about like big money things. Like, it doesn't matter if Microsoft sells Xboxes or not, because if they're a big company that their money's all around. Facebook owns Oculus. It doesn't necessarily matter about certain parts of that equation, whether, they're selling enough headsets to justify buying Oculus, because if they're selling enough software on those headsets they have sold, then it kind of cancels out or is a net profit or whatever. But anyways, we're going like onto 17 different topics right now, and I desperately want to end the episode. So we are going to wrap things up here with what we think the future of rhythm games looks like.
This article I just read saying like the Quest 2 finally made VR a mainstream hit. I don't know what that means, but
how many people do you know that have an Oculus headset? I know 2, and it's the
way
2.
too
Actually,
many.
I know like 5.
Yeah, like way too many for like something that I assume no
Wait,
one to have.
you know too many? I know not a lot of people that have it.
Yeah.
Anyways,
I
we
mean,
don't have a fucking VR conversation.
I mean, if you wanted to, in that context, I mean, my Xbox friend list is like 5 people. If you take out all the fucking random people that I met like once or twice in my life,
Sure. I know everyone that I know that plays video games has a Switch, an Xbox, or a PlayStation, and 87% of them don't have an Oculus headset.
Yeah, but I mean, are you going by people you like know through like us, or like through the Twitter universe?
If I'm going by people that I know through in person, like that live in Massachusetts, I know like outside of you two, I know like maybe 2 other people that own an Oculus headset. And if I go by your Twitterverse fucking thing, I know maybe another 5 people that have one. That's not a lot. When I follow 1,500 people on Twitter, and most of them are gaming people. You know what I mean? It's just, it is what it is. It's a luxury item. It is not a mainstream thing yet.
See, I feel like a handheld's a luxury item, and I don't want to go too far into it. I'm just saying, like, I feel like at the same time, a handheld's like a luxury item. You don't need to have a handheld for like most of these.
If you play video games, you have to have a console or a PC. Now, let's just take PC people out of the equation and just talk about consoles. Yeah. Switch, Xbox, PlayStation. Someone has one of those most likely before they own an Oculus headset.
Yeah.
They probably own 2 of those before they own an Oculus headset. Just because, again, VR is expensive, limiting. It doesn't have a lot of software. It's just a different experience. It is not an experience that everyone wants to have.
Yeah, I don't think people know how. I mean, I don't think it's expensive though. I don't think, and I'm not talking about someone who buys everything. I don't think Oculus Quest 2 is an expensive investment
compared to other VR headsets. It is the cheapest one. It is a great value.
That's what I'm saying. It's like a super.
It's a
like
great value for what it
value.
is, but it is absolutely. I mean, they're all video game consoles are luxury items, but like, I think that there is just very, very objectively a much better dollar per use. You
get more bang for your buck.
No, I get what you're saying.
Yeah, you're gonna get more playtime out of your console than you are a VR headset for a lot of reasons. One, like, it's much easier to sit down, put a controller in your hand, and play a game for an extended period of time. It's much harder for a number of reasons to play a VR game for an extended period of time. The headset's battery life is not long. You're going to be moving physically, so that's going to be tiring as opposed to sitting down playing a game. Anyways, thank you all so much for listening to this week's episode 269 of the Pass the Controller podcast. If you're a friend of the show, fan of the show, want to help support the show, you can do that in a few different ways. You can go to Pass the Controller. You can just follow Pass the Controller on social media. Share the podcast on social media platforms. Let someone know about it. leave us a review wherever podcasts can get reviews. If you have a few bucks to get around, you want to help support the show, you can do that in a few different ways. You can go to passthecontroller.threadless.com and buying yourself some 6/6 swag. You can go to patreon.com/passthecontroller and become a patron. Or you can, I don't know, Venmo Mike at fucking Cash App Mike at fucking underscore fucking Big Daddy fucking Mikey Drums. What? I don't know. I'm just saying dumb shit.
What
now
is
at this
my
point.
Cash App thing? I think
I
my
don't
Cash
fucking know.
App thing is Cash Me Outside.
Of course it is.
That's right.
If you want to keep the conversation up with us in our community, you can join our Discord, or you can find me at bgroom. You can find Mike at underscore Mycopath. You can find Todd at Toddy underscore by underscore nature. You can find Dom at PTC underscore one little spark. And again, if you're listening to this live right now, or you're listening to when I add the episode and it's still Saturday or before Saturday, we'll be streaming tomorrow for potentially a long time to raise money for myasthenia gravis research. So definitely check that out if you can. And even if you missed the stream and you're hearing this a week later, 2 weeks later, you can still donate to the team page up until September. So if you do want to donate and you're listening to this later than the stream, no fear. Your money is still welcome here.
To end it on this, you know what I just want to say? If the PS5, whatever they're doing with the VR,
Yeah.
if they figure out a way to do what the Oculus Quest 2 is doing, then I think that could be the takeoff of the virtual reality. If PlayStation figures out a competitive way to compete in that market and not make people fucking pay a shit ton for the hardware, because they already have such a wide base.
Exactly. To make their,
and I hate that though, like, because I don't want to get another fucking VR headset, But
what the thing you're saying right now is PlayStation can be more competitive. I would argue no, because you have to buy a $500 PlayStation on top of buying a headset.
Yeah, but everyone's buying a PlayStation. People are fucking still crying that they can't get. You just finally got a PlayStation almost a year into its life cycle.
Yeah, chip shortage.
Chip shortage.
Yeah.
But I don't know.
I keep on hearing that, but I keep on seeing all these new fucking consoles releasing and fucking,
Yeah, but no one can buy them.
Brenden was the only person at this point that I know that doesn't have a PlayStation. I know people that fucking don't even play games like
I know plenty of people that still can't get a PlayStation or an Xbox. I see plenty of people that say, I can't. I've been trying to get an Xbox Series X or S to play this game, that game, whatever, and I still can't fucking get one.
Yeah, I'm constantly reading headlines of the struggle of the PlayStation.
Yeah,
I'm constantly reading that people are having problems with it getting them.
Yeah, nobody can.
Yeah.
Anyways, we're gonna wrap things up there. Thank you so much for listening.
Wario 64.